Hello everyone, welcome to this video series on Java Lab. So today we are going to discuss about the concept called multithreading, right? So before going to the concept, like and share the video and also subscribe to my channel for latest notifications, right? So before going to see what is multithreading, we have to know what is a program and what is a process. So after writing the program, you will save it as .java file, right? Then you will compile the program, okay, which will generate dot class file. Okay, after compiling, the compiler will generate dot class file. Okay, so this is your byte code, which is also called as program, right? So the program is located on the hard disk in your system. You will store it in some place. Then whenever you give this as input to JVM by giving the command java driver or java space whatever class name you create, then this goes as input to JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and then this JVM will convert that code to machine code and send it to OS, operating system, either Windows or Linux or whatever OS you are using. Okay, now this OS is going to execute this machine code. Okay, the operating system is going to execute the machine code, zeros and ones. Now the OS will also allocate CPU, central processing unit, and also some RAM, main memory. Okay, so your machine code will get CPU and RAM. Now this is called a process. Okay, so for every process, the OS will allocate CPU and also main memory, RAM. Okay, so what is the difference between program and process is the program is just code, which is some text, and it is passive. It does not have any resources except from code. Okay, so whereas the process, it is active, so it is doing something. Okay, and also the another difference is a process will have CPU and some main memory and registers, etc., some resources. So that is the difference between a program and process. Now how do you define a process? Is a process is called a running program. A process is called as a running program. Okay, so is the difference between a program and process clear? Right. Now consider you have a driver process. So here whenever I run this dot class file, a process is created, right? So let us think that the process name is driver. So within this driver process, there will be a thread called main thread. Okay, now I will talk about the thread later, but for now, inside this driver process, there is a single thread called main thread. So in every Java program, you will write main method, right? So that thread is called as main thread. So whatever code is there inside the main, that is this code. Okay, right. So as you see here, every Java program by default has a single thread which is called main thread. Not only this driver process, in every Java program that you execute, there is by default there is a single thread called as main thread. Okay, only one thread is there by default. Now there is something called multiprocessing. So what is multiprocessing means? Whenever you are executing multiple processes like this, so in this example there are three process running on your system. Okay, so if you are running multiple process simultaneously, that is called as multi-processing. Okay, so example can be, this is MS Word. So you are using Microsoft Word to create some document, and parallelly you are also using a browser like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or something to browse the net. And parallelly you are also using another process called calculator. Okay, so you are using all these programs simultaneously or parallelly. So such kind of thing is called as multi-processing. Okay, next, multi-threading. Now you have a single process. Okay, so there is only one process and you are creating multiple threads. So there is main thread and you are creating two more threads called thread 1 and thread 2. So all these threads are inside the process called process 1. Now what are these threads? It is some code. Okay, so every thread will have some code, whatever code you write. Now if you are executing multiple threads like this, different code parallelly or simultaneously, that is called as multi-threading. So running two or more threads parallelly is called as multi-threading. Two or more, or you can say one or more threads parallelly is called multi-threading. Okay, so is it clear? So you can create threads like this only inside a process. Remember this. So it's simple. Executing multiple processes simultaneously is called multiprocessing, and executing multiple threads simultaneously is called multi-threading. So what is a thread? So thread is defined as a flow of execution. A thread is defined as a flow of execution in a program. Okay, a flow of execution in a program. Right? Okay. So I think it is clear. Now let's see the text. So running multiple processes simultaneously is called multiprocessing, just like I said now. And inside a process, you can create one or more threads. Okay. And running multiple threads simultaneously is called multi-threading. So I hope by now you know what is multi-threading. Okay. So running multiple threads parallelly is called multi-threading. Now, how do we create multiple threads or even a thread in Java? So how to do that? So Java provides two ways. One is thread class and another one is runnable interface. So in Java there are actually two ways for creating threads. One is by using thread class, another one is using by runnable interface. So you can either extend this thread class, okay, or implement the runnable interface. Okay, you can do either one of them. Either extend the thread class or implement the runnable interface. Okay, so in the program, I am going to demonstrate implementing runnable interface. So you can practice extending the thread class on your own. I am not going to show that. So we are going to see how to create threads using runnable interface, right? Okay, so now what are the steps in creating threads using runnable interface? So first create a class, any class by using any class name, and then you implement the runnable interface. So for this we will use the keyword implements. Okay, you will see in the demo, and after that you will write the run method. Okay, so this runnable interface contains these methods run and start. Okay, so you have to create a method called run. Inside the run method you will write some code. So that code is called your thread code. Okay, so we are saying thread, thread, thread. So thread contains some code. Where do you write the code? You will write that code inside run method. Okay, and one thing about run method is it is called the entry point for every thread. Okay, so you know the significance of main method, right? What is the significance of main method? It is the entry point or starting point for every Java program, right? Similarly, the run method is the entry point or starting point for every thread. Now, how do you run or execute the run method is by calling the start method. Okay, so the only functionality of start method is to execute run method. Okay, so these are the three steps involved in creating threads using runnable interface. Okay, so that's it for the theory part regarding multi-threading. Thank you.